Well, hello again.
One of these days, to the moon, Alice, to the moon!
Welcome back to Final Fantasy IV, and I think that was my brother.
No, I'm a stranger who broke into your room.
Well, glad to have you aboard anyway.
I'm glad to be here. You got a nice place here.
Thank you. Okay, so we're heading back to Earth. Because, well, that's just the thing we need to do, as we saw last time.
This moon... well, you don't need spacesuits, I guess.
Look, the moon is just a place you can go. And, well, looks like we're too late again.
Nah, it looks more to me like you got here just in time. Scream!
Great work, guys. Tower of Babel? See, even he says we're late.
What does he know? How come no one mentioned the giant before this?
Well, nobody knew about it except Golbez.
And all Golbez would talk about was the way to the moon.
Well, now we got a giant.
Alright. Well, in any other Final Fantasy game, he would just wreck a couple of towns right here.
Thankfully, this isn't Final Fantasy II.
Or Final Fantasy IX.
Or Final Fantasy V.
Wow, I never thought of this Final Fantasy as such a trend breaker. I think Edge has the right idea.
Lady, have you been paying attention?
Oh wow, harsh, but fair.
Yep. Kaboom.
How'd the tanks get up here?
The Eblon Cave.
Okay, well, if they can fit, sure.
Sylphs are well known for their tank commanding abilities.
Also, does this mean Yang is gonna rejoin us?
Not in this version.
No. Yep.
Yeah, because the king is dead, Sid now controls the, Baron Air Force.
Also, Sid is okay again?
Yeah, he's fine.
Why are these... okay, fine. Maybe they're using magic guns. Skies of Arcadia style.
No, they just, borrowed all of the Baron airships. And, as we noted, Pelam and Poram are still here, which means that Tella is the only character with the death scene who actually dies in this game.
Yeah, sometimes it's easy to forget that pretty much everyone except you has access to guns.
Yep.
Well, it's a good thing that the giant has some sort of convenient way inside.
Look, it's a secondary port right below the main port. Nobody watches those.
Yeah, I guess the whale is not maneuverable enough for these kinds of shenanigans.
It's called the whale for a reason.
Also, Sid is so used to the kind of weirdness that Cecil encounters that he doesn't take too much time to get into things.
Also, Babel Giant music. Pretty good.
Yeah, some of my favorite music in the game.
Okay, we just got dropped right in here. Welcome to the Babel Giant.
Yep. I didn't find this dungeon to be particularly annoying.
I find it even less annoying.
Yeah, well, that's probably because you're not nearly as stingy with your magic points as I was.
Hey, this isn't Phantasy Star, they were here to be used. Machine Giant. It punches you very hard, that's pretty much it.
I lived off the fight command. I pretty much only used Rydia's spells against bosses.
Well, sorry to disappoint you.
Are you kidding? I thought I was disappointing you. Also, why'd you switch again?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, now you're disappointing. Hooray.
Look, it has over 8,000 hit points, so... had to blow it up.
Right. Now, I believe you already mentioned that Bahamut costs... Well, it's basically a bargain, MP-wise, for what it does, especially at this point in the game.
Yes. Hey, 3 types of enemies in one encounter.
Yeah,
Horsemen and machines just, punch you really hard, and beamers fire, well, a beam, which very rarely actually hits.
hooray for magic evasion.
I'm not even sure it's a magic attack.
Also, Rydia, better at creating a quake than Titan.
Indeedy. Yeah, surprisingly I didn't actually use Bahamut that much.
Why not? What's wrong with you?
Well, Quake does the same job for less MP.
Well, it costs less MP to be sure, but the damage is like half, isn't it?
Well, I only need half.
Are you concerned that this game gives you too much power?
No.
Well then.
Why would I ever think that?
The first time I discovered Excalibur, I didn't pick it up until after the Giant.
Well, that's your problem.
Yeah, I made the mistake of advancing the plot before coming back to Earth.
Well, the first time you played through this game, you were also playing through at a much lower level than I am here.
I think I'm gonna just be proud of that.
Mm-hmm.
I understand there's some people who take pride in that sort of thing.
Okay, searchers are like the, alarm enemies in the Tower of Babel. When there's no other enemies around, they summon things if you hit them.
So you're hitting the searcher first.
You bet I am.
And the other enemies are just called machines.
Yep.
I hope they didn't hurt themselves coming up with that.
I hope the translators did not hurt themselves.
Well, it might have been an accurate translation, who knows?
I'm gonna look that up at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure it's written down somewhere.
Final Fantasy Wiki. Goodbye!
I wonder if Bahamut gets annoyed by being summoned so much.
Look, we beat it fair and square.
Now remember, I have the sacred power of the moon. Don't abuse it. Summon, 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 summon.
Hey, he didn't say not to abuse it. He said, call me whenever you want.
Okay, I can't argue with that.
Yeah, that's what all the summons say when you beat them. Call me whenever you want. So I'm like, okay, if you say so.
Well, why didn't I think about that?
Because you haven't played this game since, the last time you played this game was on the original hardware.
We still have that.
Actually, I was looking for the cartridge and I can't find it.
I'll dig it up somewhere. Eventually.
Well, actually, you did play the 3D version, but I don't think that counts.
Yeah, that almost counts as a different game.
And as I said before, play the complete collection.
Ah, yes. That has some interesting things.
You don't need to play the After Years, but play the complete collection version.
Are you kidding? You'll get to play as Golbez. How can you turn that down?
Because the story's kinda dumb?
How does that set... Do you mean... Okay, is it dumb by Final Fantasy standards?
From what I've heard and read, yes.
Okay, fine. That's why I had so much trouble comprehending. I was thinking... The story is dumb? Well, it's a Final Fantasy game.
You like Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yes, but not for the story.
Speaking of story, talking about the Moon People and all that, Cecil is actually the very first Final Fantasy protagonist to have an exotic origin that's tied into the lore of the game setting.
But he will sadly not be the last.
He will definitely not be the last.
So...
Monster in a box. I have no idea what this thing does because I've never let it live long enough.
Well, it obviously doesn't counterattack by summoning things.
That's what made me nervous.
Yeah, right. I don't blame you. Oh, this was a favorite summon of mine for quite a while.
Yep.
Even if the sound was kind of annoying. I see you're taking no chances.
Look, I know this is the US version, but still.
You don't even get much experience for it.
Oh yeah, there's actually a monster encounter in this area that I didn't get, the Machine Dragon.
Oh, I encountered that once or twice during my time playing this game, and I regretted it both times.
Well, you can easily defeat it with the, weak spell.
Yeah, well, I thought that was just a spell that never worked on enemies.
Well, it worked on a boss.
Well, yes, okay, fine. But I have learned my lesson between the olden days and now, which is...
Grind?
No. If you have a lot of MP when you reach a save and recovery point, you're probably playing it wrong.
You are indeed playing it wrong.
Why does this thing need a lung?
Well, it needs to breathe.
Oh, now this was one of my favorite moments. Everyone keeps saying we're late.
Well, the gang is all here.
They gave Kainazo one word.
That's all he deserves. Yep, the 4 fiends, all 4 of them. They learned to form a party.
They haven't quite gotten the party combat thing ready, though. Or perfected, whatever.
Yeah, it's like Magna Carta party combat.
Ooh! Why do you have to bring back those memories?
So, we're going to have our fight with the 4 Elemental Lords. And I know exactly how to defeat all 4 of them.
I thought that Excalibur would deal more damage to that thing.
Actually, he's only weak against fire.
Huh. Well, that sure showed me. I'm assuming you're casting Wall to protect against its devastating magical attacks. Or something.
Look, I have a plan in mind, so don't worry about it.
Is this a legit plan?
It is the most legitimate of plans. Don't doubt me for a second.
Okay then.
Oh, by the way, Scarmiglione actually gains a new ability at Curse.
Yeah, Curse is a really big stat reduction.
I don't remember exactly by how much it reduces stats, but it definitely reduces attack and defense by like half or something.
Yeah, Cecil usually doesn't take that much damage from punches.
And remember, Cecil has a shield, so he actually has some evasion.
Ah, the 3 spells. I remember being so happy when Radia finally got those.
Yeah, you didn't actually have them the first time you got to this boss fight.
Technically I did. I had Fusoya with me.
Yeah, but that was the only one you had.
I get the impression that the Fiend tried to recurse Cecil.
Yeah. Sorry, only one curse at a time. It's Final Fantasy IV.
It's Final Fantasy IV, not Dark Souls. Well, old Dark Souls.
You can only have one curse at a time in that game, too.
Well, in earlier versions, you could have multiple curses.
Oh.
Those were fun times. And by fun, I mean probably start the game over fun times.
Yeah, the thing about Scarmiglione is that he actually hits very hard and fast this time around.
Which makes me wonder why you didn't have Edge use Image.
Oh, well. Well, I'm not used to him lasting this long.
Maybe that's because you keep forgetting to have him cast Image. Uh-huh, no response?
None at all.
Cast Instant Death, I'm sure that'll work. Also, I don't think Tella had, Death.
No, he did not.
Okay, so, he was missing 3 spells in that case.
Holy, Flare, and Death.
They call it Fatal in this game, right. It's the same number of characters, you had no excuse.
Okay, so that's the end of the 4 Elemental Lords.
The as of yet to be ascertained number of lords.
The 4 Kings, everybody. So, I should probably explain what happened there.
Yes, I love explanations.
Basically, this boss encounter consists of 2 creatures that have a pool of hit points that each represents 2 monsters. So the first boss creature in the game data is Scarmiglione and Rubicante, and the second creature is Cagnazzo and Barbrikia. The thing is, the switch between Fiend phases and Fiend creatures is triggered by counterattacks, and reflected spells do not trigger any counter abilities.
And after that first fight, all the other Fiends were like, Scarmiglione, you ruined everything!
You're only on this team because Golbez likes you.
But now you're fighting legit. Why?
Because it gives better experience.
Fine, I'll go with that. And I see that you're handling Cecil in the correct way. Ouch.
Yeah, Edge is gonna take a nap for a little while.
Again?
Look, it's not my fault he has terrible defenses. Yeah, see, this is what's supposed to happen.
Well, I should probably mention that the 4 Fiends lose some of their special moves in this fight.
They do. Rubicante does not use his absorption cloak. Cagnazzo doesn't go into his shell. And Marikia is no longer unhittable when she's in tornado mode, which is good because we don't have Kane to bring her out of it.
Now, this particular boss fight seems to have a lot of health. On the other hand, you can easily deal 4 nines.
Indeed. This has almost as many hit points as the final boss fight.
But it has a lot more weaknesses.
It has all of the weaknesses.
Almost literally.
Well, spread across the varying creatures.
Actually, yeah, it is literal. There's Skarmaglen, who has fire, Rubicon, who's weak against ice, Kenazo, who's weak against lightning, and Vavalis, who is strangely weak against holy.
Yeah, but they have no dark or arrow weaknesses.
Okay, so yeah, they were only managed to fit in 4. I'm so ashamed.
Okay, let's blow him up.
Yeah, since he's never without his water shell, that means he's never weak against ice now. Yeah.
As demonstrated by my zealotry. By the way, the reason they're fought in this order is because this is the order you fought the Fiends of the Elements in Final Fantasy I.
Just in case you weren't sure whether this was a callback for some reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in Final Fantasy I, you fought them in Earth, Fire, Water, Wind, Lich, Marlith, Kraken, and Tiamat.
Hey, Ken also turned yellow for a second.
Yeah, speaking of which, something happens very soon which is completely perplexing.
Do go on.
Watch.
Ah, yes. It looks like the elemental weakness didn't properly shift.
I'm not complaining.
Also, wow. Cecil shows no mercy.
Look, should we at this point?
I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
And that does it.
You could have just waited for Cecil to attack another time.
No, I couldn't.
Is that because you're impatient?
Mm-hmm.
So it only displays the experience from one fight, but you get the experience from both, right?
No.
No?
The first creature doesn't actually count as defeated.
Oh. So you only get marginally more experience this way.
Yes. But it's still more.
Fine.
It's not like it was very hard.
It's like one encounter's worth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well.
And besides, we fought them all before. Why should we get so much more experience for fighting them again?
This particular fight actually reminded me of a Darkwing Duck episode where most of the villains combined into one big villain with most of their strengths. However, Darkwing Duck also deduced that this thing also had all of their weaknesses.
Yep. Speaking of which, we're going to be getting very dangerous in the next boss fight. First off, I'm not resting.
Of course not. You have ethers.
I have a time limit.
Why does Fusoya know so much about this?
Well, he knew that the Babel Giant existed and it was built by the Moon People.
That's one of the few instances of Remedy that this game properly displays.
Well, there's another boss that actually uses it successfully.
Okay.
So, the CPU system, it has two... You can't attack the CPU with regular spells, and it has two drones, the Attacker and Defender.
Do not get rid of both at the same time.
Well...
You did that, didn't you? You didn't aim your nuke properly, did you?
I aimed it properly, it just died before I could use it properly.
I still count that as a miss-aim.
Well, I did the bad thing.
You sure did. I think globe, whatever, is supposed to represent that thing rolling over you.
Yeah, so what it'll do is it'll kill 2 party members and then it'll resummon the drones.
Fusoya looks like a deflated flag.
Well, for that he's going to take a nap.
Uh-huh. Oh, you're not bringing him back?
Well, his main power is magic.
Yeah, but he could do healing stuff.
Rosa can do that, and she has more MP for it.
Wow. You are cold towards your party members.
Plus, everyone else gets more experience this way.
You are really cold.
Look, don't worry about it, it's fine. I'm just thinking about the future.
Uh-huh. Yeah, right. If you were that concerned, you would have killed him yourself before the fight started.
Well, look, I didn't know I would do the wrong thing.
But, wait, you don't count on doing the wrong thing beforehand like I usually do? I figure I'm going to mess this up.
I'm just taking advantage of an opportunity. So yeah, this is pretty much the whole fight from here on out.
This is the entire fight, yes. Do not conjure Leviathan.
Why not? It worked so well last time.
The only thing I don't like about Sylph is that I found the sound to be kind of annoying.
You already said that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I also find
No,
it
don't
to be
worry.
repetitive.
Don't worry, it was important enough to mention twice. Well, sir, there are 2 problems with that.
Wait, why are you consuming MP with that?
Oh, because Rydia got knocked out. I think that resets it.
Oh.
Well, I'm still gonna cast it anyway.
Of course you are.
And besides, Rydia can do the healing for this boss fight.
Yeah, that's... Don't get used to that.
I will not get used to that. I know what's coming next.
Well... So, how long did it take for you to discover what was going wrong?
During the fight.
Okay, then. I'm surprised that thing doesn't self-destruct.
Look, it has a job to do.
I do kind of wish this game had Dispel, though.
See, much more experience.
Yes, that is a lot more. Right, now we're in an exploding giant.
No, we just blew up the CPU. My computer doesn't explode if the CPU burns out.
What is wrong with your computer? Did you not install the bomb correctly?
Oh, Golbez is pissed. You've ruined everything! And Golbez is scared.
Yeah, that's... This is Golbez's weakest showing ever. Like, he didn't step in with his usual timing to fight alongside the CPU core. I'm going to cast this spell and fall over. Dang.
That's a good question. Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. All Golbez needs is a breathing problem. Which brings up the question, why did he find it easy to control Golbez but have no luck controlling Cecil?
Well, this is answered in the DS version.
Oh. And even Cecil brings that up.
Yes.
It's a bit more complicated than what Golbez says, I bet.
Yeah.
No, Golbez, join our party. It'll be awesome.
But we already have 5 people in our party.
We'll figure something out.
No, Golbez is gonna team up with Fusoya.
Well, if there's any 2-person party who could make it through the final dungeon, I guess it would be these 2.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure that Cecil can stop them.
Well, maybe they're talking about just going along with them. But Cecil is still a bit shocked, and for good reason. Oh wait, it will explode, never mind.
I knew it!
Congratulations, you destroyed the reactor temperature control. You again!
What are you doing here?
Well, Golbez was here, so...
Watch as Kane leads them all into a trap. I should have never trusted you, Patches.
A trap set by Fusoya and Golbez.
Actually, I wonder if the giant is collapsing because the Red Wings and tanks didn't stop shooting.
Good point.
Right, we kill him now.
Oh, well, Edge is up for it.
Edge tells it like it is. Oh boy, that's gonna be super awkward for Kane.
Yes.
Yeah, that was something Kane didn't know.
Well, do you think Zemus would tell Kane about that sort of thing?
I'm not even sure Zemus noticed Kane. That's the part of this whole plot that stuns Kane the most.
Indeed.
I think Edge wanted to do that earlier.
Well...
As it is, Edge is like, okay.
Let's go get him.
Right. We got a pretty good, full balanced party.
Yep.
And Cecil's like, well, we gotta fix that. He's comfortable bringing Kane with him, but not the,
loyal members of the party.
Not to mention the magical powerhouses.
We're going into the most dangerous part of the quest.
Better not bring healing magic.
Better not bring our best attack mage.
Oh!
You know what? I gotta say something. I've been playing Final Fantasy X along with this.
Radia's response is about right, by the way.
Yes. I've been playing Final Fantasy X along with this, and, you know, between having a hero who's seems like a doofus most of the time, but is only a little bit of a doofus, versus someone who is a generally acceptable guy but chokes super hard in the clutch, I'm going with the doofus.
You've been waiting to say that, haven't you?
Well, the reasons I did this LP.
Right, well...
We made it, all three of us. I guess they were thinking they could link up with Fusoya and Golbez. They hid in the elevator.
I like that, although that sounds extremely dangerous.
Well, there may not even be a vacuum in space.
Final Fantasy!
Look, the ether, don't worry about it.
That's what it takes to change Cecil's mind.
Mamoru!
Yeah, at the time I had no idea how significant the phrase I'll protect you was in that other language.
I'm the only... And Rydia gives the practical response. I'm your black mage.
I'm bringing Bahamut with us. You'd better be nice.
Okay, better adjust the formation now that I have 3 theoretically frontline characters.
Well, you could just buy a whole bunch of shuriken for Edge. You're not gonna do that.
No.
Kaboom. We now have our final party.
Yep.
And Rydia is the leader.
Indeed. Just like in the real life.
Aww. Why'd you do that?
Yeah, I skipped the walk in here, but I found a smooth way to do it.
Okay, then.
And these are the moon crystals. Do not misuse them.
The set of crystals that is not captured by the bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, they all talk.
Yep. This won't be the, This is not the first or last time Square would use talking crystals.
Wait, how long have we been traveling?
Look, the moon is far away.
Well, sounds like there's some great loot in there.
Yep. Let's steal the Lunarian nukes.
By the way, what previous Final Fantasy game had talking crystals?
Final Fantasy III.
Ah, well, okay then. No wonder I didn't know about it. Not epilepsy friendly.
Nope.
I actually wonder what kind of elements the moon crystals have. I think it would be cool if they had something completely different from the usual...
Well, that's it for now. See you next time.
Later.
Bye.